Yo, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Nate Trash. This podcast is founded, broadcast, filmed on Treaty 7 land, part of the traditional Blackfoot territories. We're just going to jump right on into it.
Boiled fish. Boiled carrots.
We'll have to start over a bit there. Hey, I'm Nate Trash. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. Let's make sure. Hey, look, Ryan.
What?
I think I remembered to. Yeah, I did. We're not muted. We are not muted, boys. We are in the mode right off the bat. How the hell are you guys doing today? Ryan, how was your weekend? Luca, how the fuck are you doing?
So good.
Weekend was good. There's a new Fortnite map, so
We're gonna kick it in. We're gonna play some after this stream.
sounds good because I'm not working tomorrow.
I'm probably gonna be working, but I might not be as well. I don't know. I don't fucking care. My job is easy as piss. As long as it's not roofing, I'm okay.
That should be everybody's attitude.
Hey, like, did you play an intro like during that pause?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't hear it.
That's my intro video. So okay. So I'll play it again real quick and then then you'll be able to hear it.
Okay, sweet.
Boiled fish. Boiled carrots.
We'll have to start over a bit there. Hey, I'm Nate Trash. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. Again, welcome back. Another episode of Trash Talk. That is the intro video. That's by my buddy Ted. He goes by Dirt Nap. And it's... oh no, my microphone! My stuff is falling apart here, guys. If you could subscribe, cheer with some bits. You can donate on the Twitch page so I can get some new gear that's not going to fall apart. This camera is going to kill me. I know it.
I'll donate.
Word. Okay, let's make sure we're all fucking pulled in here good. All right, now let's go and find Ted's video here.
Your search history was intense.
What did it say?
It said psychosexual and
Oh, yeah. So we watch lots of cringe videos on this stream.
I like it.
We and I will tell you right now, psychosexual is the cringinest cringe.
Cringiest or cringinest?
Cringinest. Cringin.
Oh, gin.
All right, this is the noblest mute by my buddy Dirt Nap. This is where the theme song came from.
Okay. Dirt Nap.
Nihilism, death, ritual.
That's like the Thrasher logo.
Boiled fish. Boiled carrots.
Ted's deadly. Dead Tedly.
At Calgary based?
Yes, he lives here in Calgary. He lives under a rock down by the bridge.
We summon him with beer and cigarettes every once in a while.
He's actually in school right now. He's gonna probably be my brand manager for the show.
No way.
Yeah, he's one of my best buds. He's fucking rock solid.
Very cool.
See, there's the intro. But then it goes
Love
into
it.
some of the sick raps and bars.
That's tight. Is that a Deicide shirt?
Revenge.
Revenge.
prank calling your way and thank her for small pay. I couldn't give a fuck about what y'all say. And for the long haul, I've been sick of all y'all. I'm a tall odorous, odorous mothballs. Then when I watch walls from them, all the clocks fall. My bars are like taking a buckshot of rock salt. Leave your head leaking like all 7 emails. These days the memes are a weapon that won't fail. Express wrong opinions and you'll end up in jail. Questioning history should never get stale. Who knows how the night will go? Flipping a microdose.
He released this a long time ago too. Like, I'll show you some of his new shit. It's fucking deadly.
Nice.
All of which I have spoke steady with the scrutiny. I'm ready for a mutiny. Fed you with impunity while the DMT's rebooting me. At night I move reclusively. My pen is used abusively. Bruising noobs exclusively for trying
Lee from Edmonton is watching us with no sound and auto captions.
Yeah, this is gonna get fucking wild.
Also stupid truthfully. Drop nukes irrefutably. The future works out beautifully. Cultists fuck all day. Get sick when the song plays.
The noblest mute.
This is the Trash Talk theme song.
Dope.
This when
like it.
when I started to stream, this used to play at the end of the stream. But I've just got lazy and I got to do an end credits screen again, and it won't take me long to do it. I just now it's one of those things, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you know it's easy, you know it's quick, and it's like, I'll do it when I'm absolutely have to be forced to do it.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Fucking Ted. What a
Yeah,
dirty word. So, now Wolfrik. What's the story behind Wolfrik here? When did you guys start? Like, where did the name come from? Lay it on me, buddy.
All right, so I guess we started in about 2014, 2015. And our original lineup was me, Mark, Dylan, Kevin, and Jake. And we were kind of going through a name shift / branding change and like musical like discography change as well. Like we decided to just completely switch up the band, and our drummer just out of the blue came out with the name Wolfrik, and we're like, it was just so sharp, it sounded metal, and it just kind of left a lot to like the imagination, so we just kind of like went with it. And then we started writing tunes and immediately started playing shows. And yeah, we broke into the Edmonton scene pretty easily just because we already had connections through playing with our old band. And then, yeah, I guess the rest is history. Then we gained some record labels and started touring around a little bit, and yeah, and then the pandemic hit and kind of took a fat shit on everything.
Oh yeah, a big fat greasy shit on everything.
Not me, baby, not me.
Yeah,
I thrive in this shit, man. I'm like a mushroom. I fucking thrive in shit.
yeah, dude.
I got peaceful and calm, and I was like, I'm gonna spend all this time fucking planning because I know it's gonna end. And when it ends, I want to be fucking right on the fucking front of the ship when it goes cracking into the fucking ice of new shows.
We fucking were. We were fucking loud as hell fucking right after they lifted restrictions, man.
Right, your birthday. Your fucking birthday.
Horrified's first show, yeah.
That was one. The night before they lifted all restrictions, province-wide. And at midnight. They released restrictions at fucking midnight. And my buddy...
What did you do for your birthday?
For my birthday?
Yeah.
So, for my birthday this year, I hung out with my family in Sylvan Lake, and I fucking drank some tequila, and I ate some mushrooms, and I just chilled. I chilled. Because of the lifestyle that I have, where I'm always going out to shows and stuff, and, like, I'm trying to make this my job for the rest of my life, when it comes to, like... celebrations like that, birthdays, Christmas, holidays and stuff, I instantly want to go and be with my family because I have a daughter, and I have a whole score of nieces, and I have a nephew, and my dad has been clean off of the hard drugs, off of fentanyl for probably 8 months now, and he lives with my sister, so family time is very, very important for me, and it's not hard for me to go out and party. Go out and party whenever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And I usually
100%,
do.
man.
Adult stuff.
Yeah, and that's the
I
thing.
can have whiskey for breakfast.
The
Is it a
real-
smart idea? Probably not.
No, not at all. The real.
But if I want to, I can do it.
This is the real adult drink, not Pepsi, but water.
Hell yeah, dude.
Water is the real grown-up drink. And like
Yeah.
It is.
I say that because like drinking for me, it has to be done in very planned situations. Hello, Mr. Tux. It has to be planned because it kills me. Booze beats the shit out of me for some reason. I don't know why, but
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still not that old.
No, I'm not, but I've been through. So I started my first band I started with my first band when I was 16. We were called the Sexual Assault Rifles, dirty hardcore punk. And then I got into like my first serious band when I was 17, and that was World Class White Trash.
Okay.
And we played shows almost every weekend for like 9 years. And we went everywhere around Alberta and a little bit into BC, and we did absolutely nothing with it. Like, we just played shows. We didn't try and like focus on recording. We didn't try and focus on touring. We just focused on booking a show every weekend and partying.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, like, I spent a lot of time, and I didn't like it. I didn't like being wasted all the time, but everybody else was partying, so I was partying up with them, you know. Like, obviously, I'm not going to, like, blame them for, like, they didn't put a gun to my head and say, hey, we're going to get wasted or else you're not in the band. But, like, that was the thing. It was so, if we weren't playing shows and having a good time, we were jamming and getting wasted. And then at the shows, we were getting wasted. And then it was like, fuck, we just spent 8 years getting wasted.
Yeah.
And so many, no matter where we played, people always showed up. We never played to an empty room. Yeah. And I think back on it now, and it makes me feel exhausted. You know, like I did lots of... Yeah,
I totally feel that, man. Like, like we kind of kept it pretty conservative throughout our days of partying, but like, I guess like, you know, like when it was showtime, like we kept it like pretty serious and like, you know, like maybe had like a few beers before the set, but I mean, I think I've been pretty loaded during a set before, at least once or twice, but I mean, it kind of happens. But yeah, we're kind of at the age now where, you know, like we're just getting just like tired of being a drunk and we're just kind of trying to take it more seriously because you can burn yourself out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful.
It took me a couple of years to come back from it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think my Xbox just turned off. I gotta turn off my TV or else I'll get this blue glow behind me. Ryan, talk to him really quick.
No, I get what you're saying about that. Like, I used to drink quite a bit. Now I just like, it's the thought of it's like, yeah, if I'm out at the bar, like I'll tie one on, but like at home, like I just don't drink at home.
Yeah, that's
right. And then it doesn't get out of hand. But also nowadays, like if I'm 34, I'm not that old, but still after a day of working on the roof, you come home and have 3 beers and a doobie and you're just like, well, I mean, we could keep the party going or I could just go to fucking bed.
Right. Yeah.
And I choose bed more often than not because it's like, yeah, and then, ooh, I got 10 hours of sleep. Awesome. Still tired for some reason, but...
My issue was not eating and not sleeping and just doing drugs and getting drunk. And then, like, I would stop doing drugs and getting drunk, and then my brain would just be fried because I wouldn't think about, like, okay, I got to start eating meals again. I got to start, like, showering again, you know? Like, I got to, like, go back to being a normal person because I never learned how to be a normal person. I just went straight from, like, dropping out of high school into partying, band life all the time, hammering it in. And now, 31 years old, like, when I got to town here, when I got to Calgary, I was like 21, 22. No, I think it was my 21st. It was the week before my 21st birthday, and I looked like I was 45 years old, you know? And I've actually had people, I asked people back then how old they thought I looked. And there was, 40, 45. And I ask people now, and they pretty much nail it right on. Between 30 and 35, right? And it's like, that's the way shit changes, you know? And I look back on it, and I probably make it out to be a lot worse in my head. Because when I talk to people about it, they're always like, oh, you know, we always had a good time. We always partied. And I'm very critical of myself because I've seen so many people that aren't critical of themselves and then try to fucking blame everybody else for getting them in that position where they did something stupid or they screwed somebody over. And it's like, no. Yeah. I've been really fucked up and I never fucked anybody over. So like, I'm very critical of that stuff. And then I'm subconsciously critical about my past too, when it really probably wasn't that bad. It probably could have been a whole lot worse than it was.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like it can always be worse. Right. But it's like, but it's good to realize that like you want to change and like you want to lead yourself in a different direction too, because like that can be with anything, man. That can be with like drugs or food or whatever. Right. So it's, it's basically just like realizing what you want out of life and getting yourself to that point.
Yeah.
And I think we all go through that at some point some point in time, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And what it is it's giving the decision making to a substance or to something else, right? When you, instead of making a choice for yourself, you're like, oh well, you know, I'll get this, I'll get high or I'll get drunk, and you know, I'll wait for something to happen. You know, I'll wait for the right time to make this choice instead of just sitting down thinking about it and making the choice, right? Or there's the inevitable, I'm tired, this will make me feel good, and I don't want to have to think about the stuff that makes me tired. And then people get caught in the cycle. Work 5 days, get wasted for 2 days. Work 5 days, get wasted for 2 days. And then before you know it, they are 5-10 years down the road. They haven't made any sort of money for themselves. They haven't made any sort of plans for their future. They haven't executed any of these plans they come up with when they get fucking wasted. And then they just keep rolling the same stories over and over and over. And it's like, bro, you had told me that story after it happened 5 years ago. Like, it's not cool anymore. Like, you got to go do something else so you have a cool new story to tell. And then it's like, well, I can't do anything else. I work 5 days a week, and then I got to get wasted the other 2 days a week, because if I don't, and then they don't realize that, oh shit, because if I don't, I didn't think about it that way. You get caught in the cycle, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of it has to do with like, you know, if you do kind of grow up in a situation where you do drink a lot or do drugs a lot, I feel like you need to find something else to replace it, like you said before, you know, like, because if you don't, then you're just going to be caught in that loop and stuck there, you know, because like, you know, like when, like we were kind of in our party days and like drinking every weekend and stuff, we kind of justified it because like, you know, like we would jam like once a week and things like that. And we're like, okay, well, like we're not like doing anything crazy. Like we still have like things that we do. It's not like just liquor or like just this. Yeah. But like it comes to a point in time that you kind of just have to call it quits to an extent and find your true self.
Right, because you get sick and tired of being sick and tired sometimes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was my problem. That's why I got my face tattooed. That's my daughter's initials, and I couldn't look myself in the mirror to like shave and clean up and, you know, do what grooming that a person has to do in order to be fucking presentable for public, right? And I always looked so miserable and so standoffish. And for my birthday one year, I was just like, I'm gonna get Serenity's initials tattooed on my face. And everybody's like, oh man, well, what about work? I was like,
I work construction.
My face, getting my face tattooed has nothing to do with fucking cutting metal and reading a measuring tape and fucking showing up to work with steel toe boots and a hard hat.
Yeah. So, and it's like that in most jobs too now. Like people are pretty are pretty accepting for tattoos. It's not abnormal to
this
have somebody with
day,
tattoos.
When I first started roofing, people were weird about tattoos. I had a lip ring, and like fucking everyone was weird. Oh, that's like super unprofessional. And I'm like, we're on a fucking roof. It's 40 degrees outside. Like half you guys are hungover. Who fucking cares if I have a lip ring? The job's getting done. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So what it is it's management shit.
Yeah.
So you can't have tattoos when you're doing management shit, right? And
right
now, like everybody thinks that you just because the information gets telephoned down the line, right? And then people are like, oh, well, you can't have tattoos for jobs. And obviously, it's more accepting. But I actually had a guy tell me that he would hire me if I didn't have a face tattoo. And I was like, well, I didn't know I was applying for a job, but I appreciate that.
You're right.
But after you saying that, I don't think I'd want to work for you anyway.
It's like
No.
It's like you just shut me down from a job I didn't apply for. And sorry? Should I feel bad about the it's one of those conundrum situations, and it's like, hey man, you're obviously doing just fine without face tattooed guys selling your stuff.
Right.
And
like I've tucked my mohawk up under my hat for job interviews and shit. Tuck this scraggly green bit back up under a hat and like fucking just make it look like I have a shaved head.
Yeah.
And then they hire me, and then frickin' they're like, "Oh my god."
Right.
But whatever. I will let my work speak for itself.
It's roofing.
It's roofing. Half the guys can't even read a tape measure. So like, if you can get 1/2 and 1/4, like you're basically a god.
This is what I tell everybody. You get $18 an hour to show up to work, but if you show up to work sober every day, you'll get paid $25.
Yeah.
I guess, and if your boots don't have holes in them, bro, you're on your way to fucking a foreman position.
There you go.
If you got driving papers, yep.
Tony in the chat says he's got bats and a coffin tattooed on his throat. Tony's got lots of tattoos, and he's a big old boy that rides a motorcycle, and I'm pretty sure Tony, what do you do for work, you fucking sweet angel? He's doing up he did up a zombie picture of me, and he's doing up a zombie picture of Ryan. Very stoked about that.
Hey, how do I see the chat? Do I have to go on Twitch?
Yeah, so I don't put the chat on the screen on purpose because usually when I'm doing interviews and stuff, people will get distracted by the chat because they're not used to it.
Oh, okay.
So they get distracted, and then they'll try and read all of the comments in the chat every time to see if a new one's been added.
Right.
And then I'll be asking them a question, and then they'll trail off, and they won't realize they're doing it. So I try to
that
keep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I try to keep the chat minimum. But there's people who pull it up and they have no problem with it, right? But it's just in my video and stuff. Like, I'm gonna bring the chat into my stream eventually when I figure out how to do it. But when it comes to showing the chat to the guest, if they bring it up on their own, cool. But I try not to, because there's been a couple of times where guests have trailed off without realizing it, and I've had to almost come on back.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, 2 people are arguing in the chat, and it's just like, oh fuck, oh.
Tony runs and fixes centrifuges for drilling rigs. Fucking money, man.
Sweet.
Fucking money, man. That's fucking cashola, man. That supports the family for sure. Fucking rights, Tony. Working man. Respect.
Hell yeah, dude.
Every time, I just think the stupid NASA space thing, the centrifuge where they stick the dude in the pod on the end, and they're like, all right, we're gonna spin you till you lose consciousness.
Let's see if I can find another Dirt Nap video. Oh yeah, and he does artwork for horror punk bands and stuff.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. I have an LP here with his artwork in it from a band Where's Left Hand Black from? Are they from Sweden?
Fuck, where the
What's going on here? God damn it, Ted. Why does he's so underground. He's so underground that I can't even find his underground music for my underground podcast.
You have to go into SoundCloud.
I gotta go onto his Facebook page. I gotta go right into the dirty depths of his dirty hole. The Ted hole.
Left Hand Black is from Sweden.
Yeah.
You're right.
Got to go in deep into the Ted hole. The world offers you weed, but you were not made for weed. You were made for meth. Oh, Teddy
Damn.
boy.
I don't know if anybody was made for meth.
I don't think so. German World War II soldiers in Germany.
Like, German soldiers, yeah, they were decidedly made for meth.
Yeah. Hey, Kanye West.
Yeah, I watched a whole thing there that was like, as soon as they hit the pharmaceutical factories and shit, like over in Germany and stuff, like that's when everything started to fall apart because they couldn't get the meth and like they couldn't get the amphetamines to their troops and shit.
Right. And then
Right.
everybody like lost energy.
Well, and then they started having like psychosis and like going
Yeah.
through withdrawals.
Do
right?
you
And
know
they're
the
like,
story of the one-man blitzkrieg?
No.
No.
Okay, after I show you this song, I'll pull up the fucking story of this German guy and his one-man blitzkrieg into behind enemy lines in Russia, cranked on Prebitin, which was the army issued meth supplement that the SS would give the troops. And woo! It's a good one. Like on snowshoes for 30 miles behind enemy lines. Like, oh yeah, just cranked. So this is more dirt now.
Last year's conspiracy is this year's reality. Dismiss the piss takes like it's a formality. I dismantle principalities with the quickness. It's tough shit for shitbirds nested in my shit list. Massive funds for practice ones have half these assholes smacking gums. Battles that I'll cut in half because my tab is racking up. Hold up, stop, just back it up. I'm acting like I'm cracking up. Fully send intention with intensity, then pack it up. There has to be a master key for doors to open naturally. Choking on bupropion is just the way it has to be. I'm part man, part pharmacy. The serpent's charmed by artistry.
I'm part man, part pharmacy.
Darker days are partnered with a starving artist starter kit. Margin into secret meetings, jargon in the bargain bin. No clutch, just don't touch. I hate you hoes so much. Use pros with no crutch. I'm top shelf, your old hutch. Last year's conspiracy is this year's reality. Dismiss the piss takes like it's a formality. I dismantle principalities with the quickness.
This cartridge is terrible.
Shit birds nested in my shit list. Invest in the fake is impressive. Collect unknown prototype weapon directive.
That's Marrow.
That's sick.
But we're gonna check out. Okay, we're gonna find it on YouTube. So
And that's your buddy from Toronto?
that's for my buddy from here. He lives in Calgary too.
Oh, okay.
He's
Marrow's from Toronto, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
so
Marrow's
that-
from
that
Toronto.
artist, that artist.
yeah,
his
Ted.
page.
So Ted very very rarely fucking releases his own music because he just like is so hypercritical of it, and so like hypercritical of pretty much all fucking music that until somebody that he really respects sends him a beat and asks him to jump on it, he doesn't really care about going to look out for it for himself. And
Okay.
I kind of have this. It's a cynical thing. Because like I have this fucking problem too, where a lot of times I don't want to fucking wade through a Olympic swimming pool full of bullshit just to find the diamonds at the bottom. You know, I'll wait for people I trust to send me good stuff.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But I do still go look for stuff every now and again. I don't have
What kind of stuff you listen to these days?
I listen to a little. Right now, I'm listening to lots of podcasts. I'm like
too.
stuck on a knowledge kick right now. I'm trying to reset my brain for next year because
Okay.
for a while I was sucked into oh my god, this mic. I was sucked into a lot of sucked into a lot of like controversy, dramatic fucking news bullshit, right?
Yeah.
The same shit that everybody else is sucked into all the time. And I don't like that. It makes me makes my brain hurt. It makes me feel depressed. It makes me angry.
Yeah.
So
Scared.
I was like, okay, it's time to, after my birthday, I was like, okay, it's time to reset the brain and refocus. And then Graham Hancock's Ancient Apocalypse series came out on Netflix.
I love that series, dude.
I watched it like 6 times in a row.
Yeah.
I for like 3 days. That's all I watched when I went to bed was that fucking show, and
Nice.
I really hope there's a season 2. So I was like, fuck, I'm really interested in it again. So I was like diving into Graham Hancock's podcasts, and then I was like diving into other ancient history podcasts, and then now I've jumped onto like conspiracy and cult. So the ones that I've been kicked with the last week have been Scientology podcasts. Podcasts with people who have gotten out of Scientology and are trying to expose what Scientology really is.
Right.
Which is almost pure insanity.
And it is. It's fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
very
And like, I'm not interested in the fact of like all of these people getting out and how sinister it is. I'm interested in the fact of how all of these people can be manipulated by such a fucking person like L. Ron Hubbard, who was like a failed psychologist, a failed soldier, a fucking failed writer. And like, when he died in 1986, he died in obscurity, like on a fucking yacht that he was fucking living on for the last fucking 6 years after the Operation Snow White fucking trials. And Operation Snow White was the largest infiltration of the fucking American government in the history of the American government. And in the 70s, Scientologists infiltrated every level of, every department, not every level I should say, but every department, and they purged the files of Scientology stuff, and they stole a whole bunch of files, and a bunch of them got busted, and L. Ron Hubbard sold his wife out into jail, and there was like, peace out, I'm going out on this boat, and you're never gonna see me again. And there was one grainy black and white interview, and that was the last time anybody saw him again. And this David Miscavige guy, who's like this fucking 5'2" tall, fucking like elfish cult leader freak show, who's just emulating L. Ron Hubbard 1,000%, trying to walk in his exact footsteps, beats the fuck out of these guys. And because these people are so manipulated by Scientology, they don't want to fight back against this little dwarf man because they'll get excommunicated. And like,
oh no.
Yeah, like the thing I find weird about Scientology is that it seems to attract a lot of rich and successful people.
So
Because you got to pay for the levels, right?
Here's how that happens.
Right. but
So
it's
the
like
story of Scientology. Actors are very fucking dumb.
oh yeah, we know that.
And when you can tell an actor that you got the fucking inside scoop on something that other people don't, they will jump on it so they can use it as a status symbol, just like everything else in their materialized lives, right? Obviously, I'm not speaking for every actor, but not every actor is a Scientologist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Think about Danny Masterson. Danny Masterson was a violent rapist. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to shout these words out right, because I'm hoping that it doesn't get dinged by YouTube. So his crimes didn't get prosecuted for years, and they're still going through court. Like, he hasn't been put in jail yet or anything, and it just started to go to trial. And he is a hardcore Scientologist.
Yeah.
Now, how these actors would get sucked in is, I got the inside scoop on something, and then they sit down and do the metering, like the audits with the e-meters, and then these people, the special auditors, get put in, and they totally twist these actors' fucking brains around and flip their fucking heads around. And a lot of these actors come from rich fucking families, come from acting schools, come from fucking good fucking places, because that's how you get supported when you're out in Hollywood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The real good actors that last a long time, they fucking went through the shit, you know? And like you look at Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp went through the shit to get to where he's at, you know? And I'm not speaking as like a hardcore supporter of Johnny Depp. I'm just speaking as like I've seen that character, you know? And He might have done some shitty shit. Everybody's done some shitty shit. Cheers, Tony.
Yeah.
Have a good one with your baby, man. But
Cheers, Tony.
Scientologists just seem to do lots of shitty shit and then try to get away with it. And I think it attracts the people who are trying to look for a moral high ground without actually working for a moral high ground, without
Right.
actually being morally sound, you know?
Right.
And then
And
there's...
it's-
Yeah, go.
And like it's something like a little different too, right? Like it's not necessarily your like your go to church and read the Bible kind of religion. So
No, this is
it's kind of like unique, and they think that they're kind of like rich and powerful, and like I'm at like this like elite like religion, and it's all just kind of like a scheme.
So they never call themselves a religion.
Okay,
They call themselves an organization.
so a cult.
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. They'll never call themselves that either. And like when you go into Scientology, you sign a contract. And
Right.
they provide you with like the room and board and stuff, but you got to work and do labor. And like this is where they're trying to get Scientology, is because there's members of Scientology that are as young as like 12 years old.
Yeah.
There's Scientology compounds, buildings, temples, whatever the fuck you want to call them, all over the world. They ship these kids all over the world from place to place. That's fucking human trafficking.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, they don't do it. It's not your parents taking you on a trip. It's you getting separated from your parents within the organization and getting sent to wherever the organization deems that you need to be to fulfill your contract. And
Yeah.
that's where the human trafficking comes in. And then they have the forcible confinement factors of it, of people who say they want to leave, but then they're in a place where they don't know where the fuck they are and they don't have any access to it to get out. There was a woman who escaped in the trunk of a stranger's car. And like,
Jesus.
yeah, there's some stories of bad stuff. Now, like, there's some stories of abuse and stuff, but the like SEX abuse is kind of few and far between, because that's like very heavily against Scientologist beliefs, you know? But then there's this whole inflection factor where if you blame yourself if you get into bad situations. You don't take the victim route. So like if you're being abused by people, your mind is twisting it to convince yourself that that's your fault, and you have to figure out why, and you have to atone for it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's nuts. And then this guy who I was listening to, he's got a YouTube channel about Scientology. And I think it's called Growing Up in Scientology or Growing Out of Scientology, something like that. And he has an organization called the Aftermath Foundation. And they have ex-Scientologists on their board, like high-ranking ex-Scientologists on their board. And they rescue people from Scientology. And the Scientologists don't go after them because they know that they have the power to... What he said was, could you imagine if every person that came out of Scientology got their own TV show to talk about what happened in Scientology?
Right.
Because that's what happens. That's what fucking happens is they put them on TV, they broadcast it, and they get it out there. And Scientology is dwindling now. This guy thinks that within 3 to 5 years they're going to see prosecutions for it. They're already trying to serve David Miscavige, which is the leader. They're trying to serve his dwarfy little ass with fucking papers to go to court. And because he's so well protected and he owns so much property and he has such high security, no process server can get near him.
Yeah.
And he's being they're trying to serve him for human trafficking.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah, it's wild shit, man. And then
Yeah.
other ones, I was listening to one today and it was about Stanley Kubrick and Eyes Wide Shut, which is wild because that's a Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is in that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about how Stanley Kubrick was exposing so much about secret societies and high-level elites in that movie. And this guy who's like really tuned in to, and like tuned in is one thing, but like having a show on Gaia.com is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's
100%.
like, I got a show on Gaia.com. It's called Decoding Hollywood. And it's like, bro, you are trying to get into Hollywood with this show.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect for History Channel.
Yeah, totally.
And I would watch
Yeah.
it too. I would.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, it seems like everyone is like trying to expose the elites as of recent now, hey, and like after like Ghislaine like went like to jail, and now like Elon like bought Twitter, like everything is just kind of like unraveling after that. And
So
It's super funny. So I think my theory on this is what happened is the elite basically made the decision to lock everybody in their houses, and after about week 2, everybody just was like bored at home on the internet and was like, let's see what these fuckers are really about. I got nothing but time.
We're in the information era, right? And our generation was like, I remember when computers were still really expensive, but they were still like the fucking electronic stores were financing them out. So everybody was getting computers, but internet was free. So like, or not free, but if you paid for your internet, there was no, you either paid for fucking basic internet or you paid for good internet, which had the router and shit, right? It was broadband and dial-up. That's it. And it was a free-for-all on the internet back then. There was like, there was racist sites, there was dirty like murder sites, there was like all over the place. And it just took one wrong mouse stroke to get to them, right? And I remember we lived out on a farm. We didn't have a computer. We moved around. We didn't have computers. And then I finally got a laptop when I was like 16 years old. And I remember when I was 14, having to go to the library because I got in shit. So I wasn't allowed to go outside. I had to go to the library and do my homework. But I'd sit on the computer and I'd research fucking conspiracy shit. Yeah. And it just sucked me. It sucked me right in. And what happened was I would start hearing stuff on the news, and then I'd start looking it up on these fucking conspiracy sites. And that taught me so much about, and that's what got me interested in like esoteric history and like ancient history and stuff. Because it was so cool to learn about the stuff that they left out. And then I got into the conspiracy stuff because of Alex Jones.
Yeah.
I watched Zeitgeist. I watched Zeitgeist when I was 16, and we watched, me and my buddies, and this is how it starts. You get your bunch of your buddies together, and you get your minds blown about stuff you didn't know, and then before you know it, you find yourself repeating these lines that you don't understand back to each other just to get this feeling of like, whoa, man, that's insane. Even though we don't understand the information, we didn't really know anything about it to begin with. It's just, this is mind-blowing because of the way it's presented, and we don't understand it, that we are like yelling this in each other's faces as if it's like, wow, we got to get this out to the whole world, you know? And that kind of is what happened in the last couple of years, is a lot of, like Ryan said, a lot of people were starting to look, because our generation, we just got into computers when we were younger. We just got the new computers, the new Macs in our schools when we were in grade school and middle school and stuff. And then
the color ones?
Yeah, with the round,
those were so sick.
With the round mouses, and then you had the clear mouse with the laser tracking. The whole thing was a button. That was fucking just too cool. And then now the generation below us, like my kid plays on a cell phone whenever she wants to play games because of the games that are on there. Dad plays games on his computer, and then she plays on the phone, or we'll play together, and she'll play on the Xbox, and you know, she can find information whenever she wants. And then my fear is that we're not teaching our kids how to be critical of this, because when I was in school, as all of this new stuff was coming out, we had a media course. It was just called media, and it was criticality. One of the fucking rubrics, and it was criticality, how to be critical of media. And it was really basic framing of like the Plato's 3 filters. It's either Plato or Socrates that came up with it, but you run all new information gets ran through 3 filters. You know, the first one is determining the message. Okay, and then if the message is off, then you just kibosh it right there. But if it's something worth listening to, then you determine if it's honest or not. Is it an honest message or is it a lie? Is it a story or is it something that's going to be presented? And then what's the value behind that message? Is it a good message or is it or is it something that's going to distract me or tear me down or make me feel negative or pull my attention away from other shit that's more important, you know? And nobody's being taught this anymore. And the way I was taught it was, what's the message? Is it true? Is it good for me and you? And that's how you should frame, because we were shown advertisements. Yeah. And our test was, here's some commercials. We're going to run it through these sieves. And you're going to tell me if they're good commercials or not. And it was like regular TV commercials. And through that class, I learned what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to.
Right.
So when I see people getting sucked in to like these headlines on the news and stuff, because they can all comment on it now because it gets shared on Facebook or gets shared on social media. So they all get sucked into this, and then they get then they comment on it, and then the social media algorithm reads that and then inundates them with shit that they're going to comment on. So they've just structured their own fucking wind tunnel of negativity and controversy, because that's what keeps them on the app. And everybody 100%. thinks it's social media's fault, and in some cases it is, but a lot of cases you can put your fucking phone down and you don't have to be on social media.
Yeah, it's what you search, right? Like if you're searching conspiracy videos all day, that's where you're gonna get.
Well, no, because I search conspiracy videos all day and I don't get those on my Facebook feed. It's what you comment on and interact with in your Facebook feed. That's what feeds you.
Like I'm talking like a YouTube algorithm.
Oh yeah. That's
but like say like Facebook, like it's like what you click on. It's not like through scrolling or whatever.
Yeah, if you go looking for it, they're gonna keep feeding it to you.
100%.
Exactly. I totally agree with that, man. Because that's how it works. They want to keep you sucked in so that you can spend time on their ads and shit. And it's terrible that that's how it goes, but that also makes it a beautiful tool for people like us, for creatives, because we can figure out the engaging shit, and then we can choose. Do we engage these people on a level of controversy, or do we engage these people on a level of interaction?
Yeah.
And that's why I like to think that my content has been on the up and up, because I'm engaging people on a level of interaction, on a level of relatability. I'm not trying to engage people by like spitting headlines in their face or constantly trying to talk about whatever's trending on whatever site, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do that eventually just for kicks, just to boost the channel, because I think it would be hilarious if me and Ryan reacted to like trending pop videos. You know what I mean? I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, like these two metalheads, like just like tearing down a video. That's fucking awesome.
I think it'd be funny as hell watching like K-pop videos with 1 million views, and it would boost the channel.
Shit, K-pop videos are dope though.
Yeah, right? And it would boost the channel because those videos are exploding, and like that's how you make stuff work. But doing that helps me to promote the bands and to build it up in a good way that doesn't relate, because when you build shit on controversy and headlines, you're building a house of cards, because one day you're going to burn out. One day you're not going to be able to be the most controversial one.
Yeah, or keep up with it, like just because you'll get sick of it.
That's right. Or something bad will happen in the pursuit of controversy, and you'll ruin your life or you'll ruin your platform. Like look at what's going on with fucking Ye in the States.
Yeah.
Because he's been given the ability to just go and do and say whatever he wants. He's gone off the deep end. And now, like, he's like, I don't like being on my medication because it makes me feel really muted. And it's like, well, that's because you have a mental illness, bro. Like, you're not. That's called feeling normal. Like, that's called feeling normal. Like, you're not supposed to feel like a fucking superhero one day and then feel like dirt underfoot the next day. Like, that's not how a normal brain functions, you know? And
Yeah.
to see how it's romanticized and to see how it's celebrated in the media, and some people are like, oh, I don't pay attention to that part of him. I believe he's a real good artist. This is just a bad side of him. And it's like, well, didn't you say that you just bought his records and you like buy stuff of his like that? He's using that money to actively pursue his agenda, which is hateful and fucking
Insane.
shitty, you know, and insane. Yeah, and insane. Like,
Yeah, and like, yeah, and it's not good because like he has like such a big following too, and and it's not even just like children that, or it's not even like just like adults that are listening to Kanye. It's like children too, and like if they're talking about that kind of shit in school and stuff, and like with their friends, like just imagine like how hard that would be for parents and teachers, and trying to, you know, like, I mean, like, you don't want to censor your kids from anything, but there's a time and place for the information that they should have, you know.
And this also falls on parents too, right? Like,
100%.
I take full responsibility for the media that my daughter takes in, you know, and I'm ready because, like, so here's a funny story. My birthday, we go and pick out a hoodie. She says, I want to pick you out a hoodie. Me and Mom talked about it, and Alex thought she meant Christmas, but she's like, no, I said Charisma. So we went to Charisma. She picked out a hoodie, and it turned out to be a band. I'm not going to say the name of the band, but the band was like satanic black metal Nazi band. So I was like, okay. NSBM, Nazi satanic black metal. So I was like, okay, great. This is awesome. I can never put this on my body. Like
Is it like Burzum or something?
No, it was Satanic War Master.
Oh, okay.
And I my buddy was like, I didn't know they were Nazis, so I like pulled up a picture. Oh shit, we got a raid from local band Smokeout, baby.
Ooh.
How is everybody doing? We're just chatting here with the homie Luca. Luca's in a band called Wolfrik.
What's up,
Since
y'all?
we're talking about the controversy of supporting people who have shitty messages, but we're gonna jump off that now and go back to doing music since we got some fucking friends here to hang out with us.
Totally.
So, hey everybody, if you want, jump on, click that follow button, click that subscribe button. We stream every Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock. We're gonna show our good buddy here. Oh, Luca's a bassist and a mobster for the band Wolfrik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Italian stallion of Wolfrik.
We're doing it just like local band Smokeout is. We're promoting bands, we're showing off tunes, we're doing reaction videos. BG is the OG. BG's been doing this a lot longer than I have. He was an inspiration for getting on here and doing this. And BG, congratulations on the Ghost Killer Entertainment deal, buddy. You are going to absolutely destroy it, man. And I'm really, really pumped to see your growth, buddy. Always. All right, so we're going to check out the Basham video. Check out the Basham video.
Yeah, that's our newest. We're super stoked on this one, so I hope you guys like it.
So I'm going to pause the background music here for a sec, and we're going to jump onto this. Ooh, meaty. Oh no. Spilled the goop.
Lots of goop in this one.
Oh no, stepped in the goop. Don't you hate it when you wake up after a night of hard partying and there's just fucking random goop everywhere?
It's the worst. And you're like, what is this?
Oh, it's shampoo.
So, who in the band made all of the slime?
So
it looks like TikTok slime.
all right, yeah. Well, okay, so our vocalist Dylan, his wife Deanne, she's been a long time good friend of the band, and she is a fantastic artist, and yeah, she does a lot of like props and stuff for content that we put out, and yeah, she's just super talented, but she did all of it. And then this is also her car that we're just like blasting with paint and shit.
I'm hoping that when I get the new camera, I can start shooting music videos for people too.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna
It's
shoot
fun.
the Horrify video. We're gonna shoot the new Horrify video with the brand new camera.
Are we gonna do it in the woods?
Oh yeah, it's gonna. Oh,
We're gonna make Joey and Russ that walk up some fucking hills.
No. This is Russ came up with this idea last year for this music video. He said he's had it for a while. I'll tell you after we watch this. After we finish this one, though.
Okay.
I actually just got the new mix back for our new single. Should just give it a debut on the stream here.
Fuck yeah.
And then in that shot where the bug exploded, our vocalist Dylan has a shit ton of rifles, so he just like took like his biggest gun and just fucking blasted this bug full of paint, and it was definitely the highlight of the whole thing.
Deadly. Very pumped about that. Look at the ant. Hey, not Anthony. No, not Anthony.
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 Anthony. Not Anthony. So the music video, I'll pull it up here. Our newest single is called Slaughter in Its Circuitry. That was Bashing by Wolfrik. That was Luca's band that he is the mobster and bassist for.
And just a quick shout out to Paul Maxwell for filming that. He's a professional director and producer in Ontario. He's working on a TV show right now, and he plays for a band called Voltang, and he's one of the sickest dudes. Yeah,
bro, Voltang's deadly.
Yeah, we got the privilege of touring with them out west a few years back, actually quite a few years back now, and yeah, just solid dudes. Highly like recommend you guys listen.
Fucking right, definitely. That's sick as hell. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up real quick here. So yeah, just so anybody knows, I got an announcement here. We are getting a new camera for the show. It is a Blackmagic camera, which is like, I'm just floored that we were able to get our hands on this, and we're gonna be pushing more and more content, and we are gonna be really kicking it up a notch to try and get the most value out of this camera and to get the best content so we can boost the platform and just keep on with our forward growth, because in the end, the whole goal is to promote the bands, and the bands are you guys.
Hell yeah, dude.
Unless you're just the spectators, then in that case, you're just as important in the bands. We need all of it. We need all of it.
Need all of it.
This is our new single. This is the latest mix that came back. This is Slaughter in Its Circuitry. So this song is about a fucking story by a science fiction writer from way back in the day. Can't remember his name right now, but it's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. And it's about Earth creates a world mind called Am, and Am hates humans a lot. So he kills all of them, except for 5. And he takes them down and he tortures them for a long time and just brings them back to life. And then one of them figures out how to get all the others out of it. And then that guy gets tortured for like eons and eons until he's just an amorphous blob with like glowing holes for eyes and just, oh yeah, crazy stuff. It's never been made into a movie, but there's been a couple games made from it. And like, this is our new single. So the music video for this is, I'll tell you after the song. We took out the road. Everybody in the chat, if you dig this, let me know. Let me know. Don't be afraid to drop a comment, drop some emojis, say your piece, introduce yourselves. The chat is all yours, guys. Always gotta bark like a dog in hardcore, man.
Yeah, you guys kind of have like a death metal crossover with hardcore, which I really love. You know, you kind of have like your blast beat sections, and then you also have like your super fucking hardcore sections. That's a super nice mix. I love it.
So we are pretty much like Pig Destroyer and Napalm Death converge worship.
Okay, yeah,
And
I feel that.
It was all about like as soon as you think people are getting into the riff, it's time to change the riff.
Oh yeah, we're the same way. We can't.
Yeah, and go fast.
We've always got to change it up.
And be intense, like be intense.
Yeah.
This when I recorded this one, I was feeling extra loose on the mic for this one, and very impressed with how Russ mixed it and everything. And Russ threw this final mix together. I don't know if this is the final, but he threw this mix together, and we're planning on releasing it. And I've got all the footage. I've got all of our footage from since we've started. Like some of that footage is from the Cradle of Filth show that we opened up and everything too.
Nice.
So I'm thinking about picking it apart and making a music video for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Was that Cradle of Filth show at the Palace?
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
It was
Nice.
sick. It was fucking sick.
Was it sold out?
No, it wasn't sold out. I actually don't know how many people were there, but there was lots. We got footage.
a lot of
We got pictures. There was lots of people. But I've been there when it's sold out, and it definitely wasn't that full.
Right. Yeah. I went to I saw Propagandy there not too long ago, and it was a sold out show, and like that was the first time I've ever been to the Palace, and I fucking love that venue, dude. It's so cool. Like it feels like it's like a super cool theater, and then
All fun and games till you get stuck in the mosh pit. And you just want to get out. And you're like, there's just walls. There's
Yeah.
just fucking walls. I need water.
Yeah. But then like in the top balcony, there's also like those private tables, like, and like we were able to score one of those, which was sweet. And
Yeah.
like,
Nice.
yeah, it was like it kind of felt like we were in like the VIP section for Propagandy. It was super cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
playing there was a whole nother fucking experience too, because you get your own green room, and where we were, there was like spray, like someone had sprayed a drink on the fucking lights, the light fixtures somehow, and I was like, how the fuck do you even clean that? And then everybody was like, well, obviously you don't. You just leave it there because you can't, right? And I was like, this is so fucking cool. And obviously we weren't like chumming it up with Danny Filth or anything. Everybody's there to work, right? But it was still such a super cool experience. And now like every time I go back to the Palace, everybody there knows me. Like I went there for Cannibal Corpse, and I was waiting for Tyson, because Tyson's like, yeah, man, I'll get you into the show, because it was sold out. And I was hoping to get press passes to cover the show for my show.
Like
And-
Tyson Boyd?
Yeah, I've been
Yep.
buddies with him for a long time. He helped World Class out with shows back when we were getting started, and he's always just been a really good dude. And I got there, and the security guy who's checking IDs is one of my buddies too, and he's like, "Nate, are you coming in?" And I was like, my buddy's, the promoter's gonna come out and he's gonna let me in, and I don't want to make this like confusing
A
or
thing.
anything. He's
Yeah.
like, "You can just come in if you want." And I was like, "No, we'll do it properly."
Yeah. No,
Be
for sure.
professional.
And then everybody else is walking in line. They're like, hey, Nate, we'll see you inside, buddy. We'll see you inside." And then
Yeah.
my buddy popped up with a ticket, which we were able to give to another buddy who didn't have a ticket and get more people in. So, like, it always turns out good as long as you go out and do it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And now we got to get back on to, so I got to finish the music video idea for this because, like I said, I wanted to cut some live footage together. But Russ had this idea of me dragging a dead body through the woods and like getting all messed up along the way, like pulling out like a bottle and just sitting and chugging a bottle of booze and like fucking just getting wasted along the way and dragging this body and going through like a whole bunch of different emotions. And then at the end of it, digging a hole, chucking this body in, and the blanket slides off, and it's me chucking myself into the hole and fucking burying myself in this hole. But I want to take it a step further and like cut my hair and like clean my face up a lot so that the video, the person in the hole is like old me, and then the person burying me is like crazy ass new freak show me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and like I could see the idea in my head because we play short songs, right? So it's not like we'd have to shoot a whole bunch of B-roll. It's not like we'd have to shoot a whole bunch of fucking studio, in studio, out of studio, reshoot, whatever, right? Just a couple of shots of digging and a couple of shots of dragging and a couple of shots of drinking, and we're good, right?
Yeah.
All 4Ks will be used.
All
Nice.
4Ks.
And getting the new camera, like, I'm hoping that I can use it as an example of like, hey, we got another thing that's added to stuff that can be done in Calgary, stuff that could make people want to come to Calgary and do music stuff here. Because if we're doing music videos here now, then bands from out of town might eventually be like, hey, there's somebody shooting music videos in Calgary. So we can like go get a music video shot in Calgary. We can post about how we got it shot in Calgary, and like more people will want to get involved, right? Because everything I do, when I put my name on it, it's from Calgary because that's where I'm based. That's where I'm from. So in the end, it's all about, like we were talking about earlier, it's about building and expanding and keeping the scene growing and keeping the scene from going stagnant and dying, because so many people already think the fucking scene is dead. And
Right.
it's because they just don't pay attention to the right places, but we need to get it out to the places where they have no choice but to pay attention. And
Yeah. And like a lot of people that say that the scene is dead aren't, really paying attention either.
no, they
You
go
know?
to a show once in a while and they don't see any of their friends there, or they go to a bar once in a while and they don't see any of their friends there, and they're like, oh well, yeah, the scene's dead. Or they're in a band and they don't go to any shows and they don't talk about any other bands and nobody asks them to play shows. So like, oh shit, well that means the scene's dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I'm pretty sure you probably just suck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Scene's strong and alive.
That's right. It is. So Luca, what's the future hold for Wolfrik?
So yeah, we just put out not just, but we put out a full length, our first full length, in the last year. The tune that we just listened to, Basham, was off that one, and the boys just came back from Europe in April. They did 2 weeks over there. I stuck back for that tour just because I was getting married and couldn't leave the country with COVID and stuff. I didn't want to get stuck over there.
No,
and,
you're only going to get married once, hopefully.
Yeah,
You'll go on lots
exactly.
of European tours. If you do a good tour, you'll go on another one for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's always plans to tour with this band, so it's never not an issue. But the future, like the short term, we plan on going back out east to Canada in 2023. No dates have been announced yet, so I can't really speak too much on that. But yeah, gonna do that and write some new tunes. We got some new stuff in the works, and we're still jamming every week. We just played a show in Red Deer a week and a half ago.
Yeah, with the old boys and fucking Thrill House and Dusty Tucker, man.
Yeah, man.
We played shows with Dusty Tucker back in the day, man.
Yeah, dude. It was a crazy show. It was a sold out vat, and it was just magical to be part of that atmosphere again with everybody. Like everybody there, like it was just like constant hugs, you know, like you see a guy, you're like, oh shit, I haven't seen you in like fucking 4 years, and then like you hug, and then you know there's beers going around, and
that's a hometown heroes
amazing
show.
Totally. And like you don't really get to be a part of those too often, just because they, you know, they called it quits. Like their guitar player is now in our band, and he played like 2 sets that night, and it was just fucking awesome.
Well, Ryan fucking Coach Cooley from Dusty Tucker plays in One Bad Son.
Yeah,
like,
for sure, man.
Like these guys are making power moves, man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, for sure.
That's a show that you got to be grateful to be on, for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like it was definitely for the boys, that one, and like you could like feel it. Like as soon as like Dusty Tucker like came on, it was just constant stage dives, and it was like the pandemic never happened. It was great.
Yeah, it's good to get that feeling back. It's good to get that feeling back.
Yeah, man.
We've been able to capture that in our last shows too. Like we played our second show, I think, was a house party. It was a basement show at a house party, and it was fucking awesome. I got footage of it, and we were all like in the corner of this basement, like 40 people, and the band, and these kids were just going nuts, man. It was awesome. Yeah. And then we got Broken City footage, and it's the same thing. Everybody's just going nuts, man. And to keep that flow going, that's what it's all about. Too many people are concerned about where they're playing. Oh, is it going to be this place? Is it going to be this place? And they're not concerned about working on how many people they're going to get in the door to see their band.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it doesn't matter where you're playing. Is it going to be able to be accessed by the public? Perfect. Then work on that. Yeah. Make your fucking show sound good, so it doesn't matter where you play. You need to rely less on everybody else, and you need to focus more on the work that you could put in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of like the stage that we're in too, is like we kind of came to the consensus that like we're gonna be playing in small pubs for a long time, right? And like we're totally cool with that. Like that's our vibe. Like we're that kind of band. And so instead of like, you know, putting our time and effort into something else, we're actually putting it into our equipment and our setup, and just making sure that we have a nice consistent sound every night. And I think that's the most important thing when you're playing in these unpredictable places and these small type venues.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. That's exactly what you got to do. You got to prepare. You got to hope for the best and prepare for the worst, and adapt to every situation in between.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's pretty much all you can do, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Well, it was great fucking chatting with you, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man. This was awesome.
It was definitely a good fucking cast. We ran a little bit over time, but that's okay. It's all right.
That's okay, man. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here on a Monday night.
I definitely want to do this with you again.
Yeah. Like I would love to come on the show again. I'll I think my band's listening right now too, and I'm sure they'd want to come on and have a chat with you sometime too.
Hell yeah, Papa Trash is all about fucking. But this is another thing too. Like when it comes to this show, I can only really do it with 1 or 2 people because
I kind of figured.
Yeah, because of the setup and how many calls and lines and everything comes in. But we do trash on the streets. We go to shows. We interview on location. And with the new camera coming, we're going to be wanting to go out and do a lot more interviews. So you can guarantee we'll be popping up at a Wolfrik show, and I'll be tapping you on the shoulder and be like, hey, grab your guys for 10 minutes. Let's go outside and shoot an interview.
Yeah, and we'll be more than glad to do it, my man.
That's the fun stuff. I'm gonna be doing some funner stuff with the interviews this year, with the on location ones, trying to spice them up a little bit, make them a little bit more engaging and funny. Not like bombard people with like random stuff, but you know, a lot less serious and a lot more like screwing around and letting people know that bands can be approached and talked to, and they're not just like. It's not just somebody that you only see on stage and then you got to be like afraid of whenever they're off stage, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully get you in touch with new audiences and get people that never really thought to listen to your music. Maybe they're like, hey, I like what these guys talk about. Now I definitely want to listen to their music. Yeah,
for sure, man. Yeah. And yeah, like thanks again for having me on. Like I love what you're trying to do. I love how you're trying to connect the scene. And I think we need more guys like you trying to keep it alive. And I think it's great what you guys are doing. It's it means the world.
Hell yeah,
it
man.
Does.
Saying that means the world to me, man. And that's what keeps me going is when I get those random people popping up and saying, hey, man, I really appreciate what you do. I'm really stoked about it. Because, like, a lot of the times, the numbers don't pop up. They don't go big. Like, people think that they expect... Because my YouTube channel is fucking going big, but that took a lot of work to get to that point, you know? It took a lot of focus, and it took a lot of effort and a lot of learning to build that up, you know?
It takes time, yeah.
And I'm willing to do that because that's what makes me feel like I'm fucking doing something valuable. You know, I was a kid. I grew up in fucking Olds and Didsbury. Like, I started playing in bands when I was 16, but I fought for that. I was the only kid wearing a vest with a fucking Misfits back patch, punk band stuff. You know, me and my buddy, and then my buddy EJ got one, and like that's what we were doing, and we were the only ones, you know.
Because it's a small town, you got classified as a gang.
And we got, and like, my family was all addicts. They were all addicts, and my uncle was a criminal, and my dad has a pretty rough criminal record too, and like, I didn't want to be a part of that, and this was my way out. So I want to make it easier for kids to find that way out because it was hard for me to find it. And a lot of people that I've looked up to didn't do anything to try and help me. All they would do is get me wasted and then just see what I could do so they'd have a fun night, right? You know, that's fine too. But I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to always be fucking teaching as well as learning. And I'm always going to be trying to help bands out because that's what is fulfilling for me. And in the end, we're all just trying to do what makes us happy until we die, right?
Yep, exactly.
So this is it for me, man. This is it for me. This music, this aggressive underground music, like, and it's not just punk, it's not just metal, it's all of it. It's all of it. It's underground. It's people who've come from situations and used this as an outlet to get away from those situations instead of falling into the traps and the negativity that come with certain upbringings. And if I can build my lighthouse bigger and shine my light brighter for more people to see and more people to be attracted to, that's what I'm going to fucking do. And I know it's going to work out, and I know that people want it. I know it's going to have value to it, and it's not just going to fucking die out because I'm not going to let it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And yeah, like all it takes is, you know, like a few kids to listen to this show and to hear that they're not alone in some situations, and then they like show up to a show and then they have like some positive influences in their life with goals and good intentions, and then all of a sudden they have people to talk to, you know, and it's and like they're positive people. So
that's it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Just fucking letting people
positive
know that
energies.
relating, just finding the people to relate to and getting the message out to them, man. And then if the people don't want the message, then fine, I'll move on to the people who do. You're not gonna fucking stop me, no matter how hard you try. I had drug addictions longer than that pandemic lasted, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Not even the addictions. I've had benders that lasted longer than that.
Years.
You know, like, hey, man. You know, that was let's go with 2014 to 2016. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The difference is those we were playing shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I didn't want
Yeah,
to play
really.
shows the last couple of years. You know, I barely want to play shows now, to be honest, because, and it's not because I don't want to play shows, it's because I want to make sure that every show is an event, not just another show.
Right.
It's something
Yeah.
that people are going to look forward to. It's something that people are going to get prepared for, and it's something that people are going to talk about afterwards. Not just, oh, we walked into this bar tonight and you happened to be playing. We didn't even know.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, we saw your band a month ago just down the street, so we weren't really concerned about seeing your band again. We've got our fix. We've already gotten our fix, you know? So you got to always leave them wanting, and you never play when they expect you to. We told everybody we played our last show, and then I got asked personally by a band that I really like called Exit Wound, and their friends, and they're a younger band. And I was like, all right, everybody, don't ever say you're going to play your last show, because it's always going to be a damn lie.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Fuck.
For sure, man.
But yeah, man, so this is your chance to drop some shout outs. And if you think there's anything we missed, fuck, the floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Steve Rawls. He's our manager and
Mr.
agent.
Belvedere himself.
Mr. Belvedere himself, man. Yeah, he's the mastermind behind our schedule. And,
Such an amazing guy.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to give shout out to my other bandmates. I'm sure they'll be coming in contact with you soon for a sit down.
Inboxes are always open.
Yeah, man. And yeah, we got some tour dates coming up for 2023 out east, and we got a bunch of stuff planned out. So follow us on Instagram at Wolfrik Band, Facebook. We got a website at wolfrik.ca. So yeah, let's just
You got merch for sale?
yeah, man. We
guys
got
got
merch for
merch?
sale. If you want to message us like personally, that's probably the most preferred way, just because, you know, the Bandcamp emails kind of get lost in all the shit. So
Well, in this way, you'll get the money direct and you'll get all of it.
exactly.
Don't have
Which
to worry
is-
about fees and stuff.
Don't have to wait and remember for what is it, the first or the last Friday of every month?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bandcamp Friday. I always see that when I'm like scrolling through Facebook and I'm in bed and it's like fuck, it's like almost midnight.
Yeah, 100%.
Shit.
Fucking rights. Well, Luca, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and asking to come on the show. That's what I like. I love it when people reach out to me and want to be on the show, because that's what gets me stoked about bringing them on the show and having
Yeah, man.
good chats. Like, when people message me and they're like, oh, hey, man, I saw you got a show. We'd be down if you wanted to, you know, if you'd be into it. It's like wishy-washy, or sending me a message and just being like, check out this tune. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you gotta take me out for dinner before you get me into bed, okay? Like, you're trying to catch me in my most intimate moments here with my headphones on, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's awesome what you guys are doing, man. Like it. Yeah, like again, it was my pleasure. Yeah, you guys are doing a great thing here. So
Fucking
Hey.
rights, man. Well, I hope to see you in the chat on Thursday.
yeah,
Because we're going to be me and Ryan are just going to do a reaction stream.
Okay.
I was going to interview Tyson Travnik from Prairie Fire Productions, but he is a very, very busy guy, and he had something come up. And he's not getting paid to do these fucking podcasts, but this other stuff, he gets paid good money to do. So I do not expect him to take the podcast over that.
yeah.
And so me and Ryan are just going to do a reaction stream. We're just going to check out some wild videos. Ryan, I'm telling you, you got to go through and you got to find some crazy ones, and I'm going to check out for some cringy ones, because I like the really cringy ones. I like putting myself through the misery, because that's the one time that I can finally talk bad about bands without feeling bad about it.
You're
Oh
right.
yeah.
Because
That's when the trash talk. Those are like trash talk episodes where we just like rip into the band.
But I've also
That's
been.
why it's called trash talk, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what. Well, no.
Okay.
Actually, so my nickname is Nate Trash,
Okay.
and I talk a lot because I think
trash.
if I'm no, my name is Trash.
Okay.
I just talk lots of talk, just anything about whatever. So like that's it. It's trash talk. Nate Trash Talks.
Nice. Yeah.
And
like
I've
it,
had
man.
people. I interviewed Cam Mesmer from Spell, and he jumped on. He's like, "All right, who are we talking shit about now?"
Yeah.
When what was that Decimate Festival? When I was like, well, we're starting with trash talk, but this is just a platform where you can call out beef to other artists, and then me and Nate will organize a fight.
Yeah. That's what the
Like, are you
real
fucking
goal is.
serious?
We're trying to. The Dungeon Wrestling is back in Calgary, and we're trying to get our promotion on there as well.
Dungeon wrestling. What's that?
So, if do you know about wrestling?
Yeah, of
So
course.
Stu Hart and the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
that
yeah,
was-
big family in Calgary.
Yeah, that was their organization, was Dungeon Wrestling.
Oh.
And
okay.
now,
I thought it was like
It was the
Uh,
Heart Dungeon.
wasn't it called Stampede Wrestling?
that was
Or they were just
the
part of
show.
it?
That was the show. That was the name of
okay.
their event, was Stampede Wrestling. But the name of their company was Dungeon Wrestling,
Oh, okay.
So-
okay, I see.
or Hearts Dungeon Wrestling, or the Hearts Dungeon, some variation of that. But now, Bret the Hitman Hart's youngest son, I believe, has come back as an organizer and a manager, and he's resurrected Dungeon Wrestling as his own promotion, and he's been doing events and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
where?
So the last one he did at the Big Four. They did it at the Big Four building, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It was somewhere in the Stampede grounds.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they used to do Dungeon Wrestling at the Corral.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was where it happened, and I guess he's got the British Bulldogs son on his roster. He's got Brian Pillman Jr. on his roster. So he's got the kids of a couple legends on there. And I did security for an event this summer at a distillery for Dungeon Wrestling, and it was fucking awesome.
I bet.
It was cool as hell. I got a picture with Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman's been one of my favorite wrestlers forever. Flying Brian. He was his story arc with Stone Cold Steve Austin is still one of the greatest story arcs ever. He gets his leg broken and then like threatens fucking Stone Cold with a fucking pistol, and like Stone Cold breaks into his house and like.
Oh, that was when WWF was like wilding out. They're
Yeah.
like, nah, we're just doing home invasions and
Yeah, the
kidnappings."
camera cuts off. Yeah, and then like Triple H drugs Stephanie McMahon and like marries her. And I was
yeah, in
whoa.
Vegas, and like DDP's like fucking his whole fucking insane storyline. Oh man.
All right. Well,
I take it you guys have seen the Dark Side of the Ring.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and that's a great series.
Fucking rights, man.
Yeah.
It's really wild to see like to grow up watching these controversies and like little bits and pieces of them, like Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. And like watching those unfold as they're happening and when you're growing up, and then see this dark side of the ring and see it from the other side as well. It's like, wow.
Yeah,
That
it's
lasted.
wild.
That controversy or that experience lasted a lot longer than they showed on TV and shit. And like these are real people with real lives, and Vince McMahon just uses them like fucking action figures.
Yeah.
It's
I know,
nuts, man. Pops the head off one and puts it on the body of another, and then you got like Sting dressed as Gold Dust.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was an arc once upon a time. Hell yeah! But we got to wrap this up, fellas, or else we're gonna end up going all night. Luca, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody out there in Twitch land, please jump back in on Thursday. We're gonna be watching videos. If you guys got any ridiculous, stupid videos you want us to watch, make sure you fucking load them up. Send them to me in Messenger. Send them to me on Instagram. Send them to me wherever, and we'll put them on the show next week. I'm gonna make a list and we're gonna run through them. So if you're interested, contact me. All the contact information's on the damn screen. So click it. So from us to you guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. Cheers.